Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into our Sunday afternoon lockdown live stream. Yes, we're going live again this Sunday afternoon, and I've just got to fill in the title on the live stream and in the description, so you can just bear with me while I do that. Lovely afternoon today. So plenty of sunshine out there to enjoy. And it's been quite warm as well. Yesterday was very cold, wasn't it? It's very miserable yesterday. But it's a lot better today, certainly where I am. I think it's still a bit cold. I think it's still a little bit cold, though, on the eastern side of the country. But definitely a big improvement today on yesterday. So it was so cold yesterday afternoon, it felt like we'd gone back to winter, didn't it? There we go. That's the title, GavsWeatherVids Sunday afternoon lockdown live stream. So as we've been saying, we're doing live streams every Wednesday afternoon between 4 and 5, and every Sunday afternoon between 5 and 6 o'clock. Although we've only done one Sunday afternoon live stream, due to the fact we have competition to sort out yesterday. But they have competition to sort out last week. But other than that, we're live every Wednesday and every Sunday. Right, that's everything that I've got to do to set up the stream. So we've already got a couple of people with us. We've got 8 people watching so far. Hello and good afternoon to you. So Shiram is with us with his badge as well. So Shiram has become a GavsWeatherVids channel member. Shiram got a nice badge there to show that he is, in fact, a channel member for GavsWeatherVids. So afternoon, Shiram. I remember back in the live stream that we did on Wednesday, you asked about about whether there's any winters that are positive AO and NAO winters in the past. We'll have a look at that in a moment. I thought 1990, 1991 might be one example of might be one example of a winter that was both a positive AO and NAO winter, but I wasn't sure. A cold winter, but we'll have a look at that anyway in a few moments. And yes, that's definitely something we'll look in the screen share part of the video. I also want to show you the latest observations from XC Weather in a few minutes, and have a look at the Beijing Climate Center as well in this live stream. We did the Beijing Climate Center versus CFS 6-month look ahead last night. We stopped at October, but if you want me to, you have to let me know through the live chat. If you want me to, we will extend out beyond October with the Beijing Climate Center and see what the Beijing Climate Center is showing for winter of 2020-21. We can do that. And if you would like to see those charts during this stream, then let me know in the live chat. Live chat is enabled, by the way, so it's interactive, this live stream. Post your comments in the live chat. I'll go through them as quickly as I can and pick out any questions that you want answering and whatnot. We have been quite busy with these live streams recently, so I may not be able to pick out everybody's questions, but I'll do as many as I can. You can super chat. Super chat is enabled for this live stream, which means that your sort of question is highlighted and whatnot, and then I see it a little bit easier. And also you can support the stream through Streamlabs as well if you have a PayPal account. So we'll get on with the screen sharing probably in around sort of 20-25 minutes. I would have thought, give people a chance to check in, because a few people will be a little bit late coming to the stream. Of course, we've got 17 people with us right now. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon. Hope you're all having a lovely afternoon. I've got Sunny with us saying hi, Gav. So hi, Sunny. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've got Ed with us as well. So hello, Ed. Thank you very much for tuning in. Weather is cool is with us as well, saying hello. So hi, Weather is cool. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon. And Ed is telling me that it's 18 degrees, much better compared to yesterday. Yesterday was grim, wasn't it? It was a very chilly day yesterday, but it's just going to show how much difference it makes to get the sunshine out at this time of the year. If you're under those cloudy skies with wind coming in from the east in April, it is pretty grim. But if you have the sunshine, even with the easty wind, it's not too bad at all. I got Mark Kinnear saying, hi Gavin, hope you're well. I'm going to depart from missing Natalie and wasn't able to be with her on Friday for her birthday, but hopefully we will start getting out of this lockdown soon. Yes, that's right. So sorry about that, Mark. Sorry that you missed Natalie's birthday, but I hope she had a good one. Anyway, City Andy, my good friend Andy is with us, saying afternoon. Again, just a quick hello before work. Afternoon, Andy. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon. So we've got to shoot after work, but you'll be able to have a listen back to the live stream on catch up anyway. So that won't be a problem. Another one of our new GavsWeatherVids members, Philip, is with us with his green badge, saying afternoon, Gav, and all lovely afternoon today, cycling in the garden, and it's smashing. Well, thank you so much, Philip, for becoming GavsWeatherVids member, and also, of course, thank you so much for tuning in to our live stream, and I hope you're having a lovely time in the garden, and, well, not too much cider, but you're having a lovely time anyway. Another one of our members is with us as well, Duncan Woods, saying hi everyone. So hi Duncan, thank you for tuning in. Fantastic to see so many green badges flashing away. So thank you everybody for becoming members of GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel. The badges will change colour over time, so if you stick at it for 2 years, your badge will go gold, but before then there'll be other different colours to enjoy as well. So I think the badges look absolutely great actually, so I'm really pleased with how the badges have come out. Our good friend Savvy has created the badges for us actually, so big thank you to Savvy. I think the badges look absolutely great. Another GavsWeatherVids member, Katrine, is with us, Katrine Baser, and of course competition winner, saying good afternoon Gavin and everyone. So thank you for tuning in, Katrine, and thank you for becoming a GavsWeatherVids channel member as well. All channel members are going to get a shout out in coming videos, so you'll all get your own individual shout out and mention in coming videos. But thank you everybody who has become a GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel member so far. And I see that Sally is with us now to moderate the chat. So thank you so much, Sally, for being with us to moderate our chat this afternoon. If everybody can say hello and thank you to Sally for being our moderator this afternoon with the live stream. We've got 32 people with us already. We've been talking for nearly 10 minutes. 32 people are with us. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in this afternoon. Don't give a thumbs up on the video, smash your like button, and let us know that you not literally, don't smash your like button literally, but hit the like button and let us know that you are enjoying the live stream this afternoon. I've got Mark Kinnear saying, also Gavin, watch the 6-month look ahead. I noticed the BCC model, June went cool. If that came off, that's like 1995, isn't it? Yes, 1995 started quite cool in the first half of June. Anyway, the first half of June was quite cool, cloudy, northerly winds. The second half of June was a lot warmer. Started around the 20th. That sort of started around the 20th of June. Well, there had been a little heat wave in May of 1995, actually. The first week of May 1995 got really hot for so early in May. I think temperatures pushed very close, around 30 degrees. But the second half of May and the first half of June, it's like a 4-week period where it went quite a lot cooler. Not particularly wet. It was always very dry. But it did go a lot cooler through the first half of June 1995. Then it was around the 20th of June June that summer really kicked off. And when it got going, that was a tremendous hot summer with just continuous sort of high pressure centred over the UK, bringing day after day after day of hot and dry weather. The grass went brown, completely brown and baked, and it was really hot and dry summer once it got going. It did take a little while to get going though. Andy is saying, will Patreon and YouTube members be entitled to the same exclusive content? Going to try and sort that out, Andy. Yes, so I'm not sure about the way of going about that at the moment, but definitely I want to be able to provide the NAO forecast a little bit earlier for patrons and YouTube members as well. So yes, that is definitely something that I'm going to be looking into. Lisa Cotton is with us as well, saying, yes, please, Gavs. I think that relates to showing you the Beijing Climate Center for the winter. So, yes, definitely, Lisa wants to see those charts from the Beijing Climate Center. I'll have those up for you in the screen share quite shortly. Duncan is saying, looking forward to a front-loaded summer and going downhill later. Looks like a front-loaded summer and going downhill later. That's certainly what the Beijing Climate Center was hinting at, wasn't it, Duncan? So we need to hold off, though, I think. That's what CFS, was looking at. Beijing Climate Center was kind of quite hot from beginning to end, really, although June was slightly cooler. But generally, I think the Beijing Climate Center was going for a largely warm and dry summer. But the CFS definitely was hinting at more of a front-loaded summer. But I'm still not sure these models have actually got the overall pattern pinned down, you know. I'm still not sure that that these models are really seeing what's going on with this summer. So, and I'm still a little bit confused about it as well, actually. I've still not got a clear-cut idea of what's likely to happen with this summer. So it's getting on now. It's 19th of April, so time is getting on. I've got to start really trying to bring things together for the summer forecast, but it is proving to be a little bit difficult. And as I say, I'm not sure the model output, any of the models at the moment really have got a clear-cut idea about this summer. One of those very elusive ones. Summer is quite an elusive season, though, at the best of times, to be fair. So we've always also got, I should say, Lisa saying, I love the chilly and wet of a couple of days ago. Yeah, it was pretty grim yesterday, I thought. Lisa, it was pretty cold and wet. Moving down through the chat, just say again, explain that I'm scrolling down for your comments as you're posting them, and it does have a tendency for this to pull down to the very last comment, so I'm going to scroll back up, try and get back to where I was. So it can be a little bit difficult if I seem like I'm fading away off into the background. It's because I'm trying to scroll back through the live chat and get back to it. Well, I've got 44 people with us right now, so hello and good afternoon. Thank you all for tuning in this afternoon. Weather is cool, saying it's 14 degrees in Nottingham. So not that warm, actually, Benny. Nottingham weather is cool. I'm surprised it's a little bit higher than that. But I'm looking at the observations at the moment from XC Weather. Shiram saying, hello Gavin, what is your favourite memory of the classic 1980s winters that you remember? So I can remember just about going back to winter of 1981, 1982, which was a very, very cold and snowy winter. But my memory of that one is a little bit hazy. I've got better memories. I was alive for 79, but I'm too young to remember that. I've got better memories of like the mid-1980s, so 1984, 1985, 1986, and of course 1986, 1987. What I remember about 1987, that freeze up, was our patio door fell off into the snow. So, yeah, there was ice underneath the runner of the door, and it sort of lifted the door up, and it fell off. Luckily, there was loads of snow on the ground, so the glass didn't smash. But it took a few hours to get the door put back on. It was absolutely freezing cold. While we were missing our patio door. So I can remember that very, very vividly, the door falling off. I've got memories, as I said, of 84, 85 and 85, 86. Well, I do remember a little bit about 81, 82. Scrolling down through the chat, have a look at one or two more of your comments. So Wayne Bingham is saying, hi Gavin from Walsall, West Midlands. Hope you're okay. Loving the show. Thank you so much, Wayne, for tuning in this afternoon. That's really, really kind, really great of you. So thank you so much, Wayne, for tuning in, and hope you have a nice afternoon as well. I appreciate it's not nice times. We're all in lockdown. We can't go out anywhere, and that's the reason we're providing the live streams, really, so that everybody's got a little bit of an outlet to do something else whilst we're all stuck indoors and in lockdown. Of course, you've got a nice garden. You can't get out into the garden, so that helps a lot, I think. Bernard Hamill is with us saying hi, Gav. So hi, Bernard. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. James is also with us saying hi, Gav. We'll become a channel member very soon. Maybe you should have some more emotes. Yes, they're coming, James. We'll be able to have more emoticons in the coming days and weeks. So yes, there will be emoticons available very soon. Stephen Moss is saying, hi, Gavin from Warrington, Cheshire. Really nice day today with sunshine. Fingers crossed, a nice sunny spring. Well, we have had, I think, Stephen, we have had a really nice spring so far. I mean, we can't complain, can we, about how warm and dry and sunny it's been, particularly through this April. We have had I was just saying that yesterday was pretty grim, but overall this April has been very, very warm and dry. So I don't think we can complain about the spring so far, and we'll see whether it continues on into May, I guess. But certainly the next few days are going to be okay. There's no sign of anything particularly unsettled or wet in the next few days. We may turn this a bit more unsettled right at the very end of the month, talking about the last 4 or 5 days. But before then, we really are looking at a lot of dry and warm weather. So if we can have a look at one or two more of your comments. So it's pulled down to the very last comment, so I can scroll back up and get back to where I was. So we got to Steve Moss. So we got Paul Miller saying sunny in Suffolk, yeah, but cool east wind. Think wind goes midweek, so should feel warmer. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be with this easterly for 2 or 3 days, Paul, and then we'll sort of cut it off, and things will start to turn quite a lot warmer then as we move through. But we've got another couple of days with the easterlies, and then we'll lose that, and things should feel warmer everywhere, I think, from around Wednesday onwards. It's not going to be particularly cold even before then, even with the easterly wind. I mean, we've got the easterly wind today, but it feels okay outside in the sunshine here anyway. But we lose the easterly from around middle of the week, and then it will feel very warm for a couple of days, but it may turn showery at the end of the week. Bernard is saying nice weather, touch of high cloud here in County Antrim. So that's good to hear. The weather is nice over there in Ireland. Stephen Moss is giving us a thumbs up, so thank you, Stephen, for that. Don't forget to give a thumbs up on the live stream if you are enjoying it. Ed is saying, I would love a warm and thundery summer. Well, one thing I've noticed over the past few years, Ed, is that we have been doing very, very poorly, well, certainly here anyway, in Northants, been doing really poorly for thunderstorms. It's been really quite grim for thunderstorms, but would be nice to get a good storm this summer, but whether we will, we'll have to wait and see about that. I'm not sure what the reason is that we've been doing so poorly for thunderstorms, actually. But, yeah, we'll see how it pans out through this summer. But it would be nice to get a good storm. It's been some time since we've had one here in Northants. Stephen Moss is saying, I've got a good feeling about this summer being hot and sunny after these couple of weeks with lots of high pressure, keeping my fingers crossed. Well, we shall see then, Stephen. But I'm not sure you can really take too much for the summer from April, really. So April is one of those strange, very fickle months where there's a lot of variation, not only from one April to another, but actually just from week to week in April. Sometimes we can have a very warm and dry April, such as in 2007, and it's followed by a terrible summer. But in 2018, we had quite a nice April, quite a warm April, and that was followed by a hot summer. So April is one of those funny months. But the general rule of thumb years ago was always that if you got it warm and dry in April, then it tended to be quite a poor sign for the summer reading. But I'm not sure that holds true as much as it used to, actually. In around 10 minutes, we'll do some screen capturing. So we're going to look at the Arctic and North Atlantic oscillations first, and that relates back to the last live stream that we did on Wednesday when I was asked about whether there was a cold winter that was a positive AO/NAO winter. We'll have a look at that first of all. Then have a look at the observations from XC Weather, and then I think we'll show you a few charts from Beijing Climate Center for the winter. You get to see what Beijing Climate Center is forecasting this month for the winter. We did the Beijing Climate Center versus CFS 6-month look ahead yesterday, and we stopped at October, but we'll go out a little bit further than that, I think. Phoebe, a question is saying, afternoon Gav, do you think that we could see a summer like 1976 or 1995 in the near future? P.S. Keep up the great work. Afternoon, Phoebe. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. I'm not sure whether we could get a 76 in the near future. The reason I say that is that 76 was such a very, very extreme summer, partly because it's the reason I call it the daddy of hot summers when I do the analogues updates. We have a bit of a laugh about that, but it really is a very, very extreme summer, partly because it was a very, very hot and dry summer in its own right, but it was a culmination of what was a tremendously hot and dry period through the middle of the 1970s. So to get a summer like 1976, you would have to have at least a year of very hot and dry weather preceding it. So I don't think we're going to get a 76 in the near future, although we could get one that is as hot and as dry as 1976. But I don't think we would see the reservoirs completely drying up unless we had, a very dry period leading up to it, as we did in the middle of the 1970s. So something like 1995 could occur at any time. Remember that 1995 was actually a little bit drier than 1976. It wasn't quite as hot as 1976. But I think a summer like 1995 could hit at any time. 2018 actually got very, very close to being a 1995 summer. It just went a little bit wrong in August of 2018, but up to then it was very close, actually, 2018 to being like a 1995. So yes, I think a 1995 could happen at any time, really, but a 76 is a much more extreme summer, not only in its own right, but because it is the culmination of such a long, protracted period of drought and hot weather. Andy is saying CFS really wants a La Nina. Could it be very wrong? It's possible, Andy. It is a bit of a puzzle, isn't it? What's going on with the CFS at the moment? CFS has been generally pointing towards a La Nina probably since, when did it start with that? Probably since about January. It's been pointing towards a La Nina. I have to say there are a few other models coming into that idea, though. This month's update from the UK Met Office seasonal model is very interesting, and we'll have much more about that in the ENSO update that we're going to do on Friday. Be an ENSO update that will explore several long-range models. The CFS is certainly not alone now in this idea of going for a La Nina. But again, not all models are going for the La Nina, and we aren't really seeing any signs of the La Nina in terms of the sea surface temperature anomalies in the Equatorial Pacific Ocean yet either. So it's a puzzle what's going on with that right now. So we've scrolled down to the bottom, so let's move back up again if I can find where we got to. So we got to Andy, haven't we? So Savvy is saying that it's lovely in North Wales. So yeah, Wales is one of those areas, North Wales, one of those areas that's in a prime position when the wind's in from the east, definitely. You do quite well with easterly winds, I think, in the summer. One of the warmer places. Adrian is with us saying, "Hi Gav from Romania, hope you're having a lovely day. It's nice and warm here and it already feels like summer. Had some frosty nights this week and today temperatures already pushed to 27 degrees. Thank you, Adrian, for tuning in to our live stream. So that's really good to hear that summer has arrived in Romania. 27. I'm not sure what the average is for Romania will be in April, but 27, 81 Fahrenheit doesn't sound too bad at all. So, yes, thank you so much for tuning in to our live stream, and well done for getting summer-like temperatures, even if the nights are a little bit cold. Henry W is saying, "Hello Gav, gotten here late, but better late than never. I've been looking at charts from summer 2007 and ready for the booze, but I'd be interested to see a repeat." So yes, it was a very, very wet summer, Henry. It sticks in my memory, and for all the wrong reasons, that one. It was certainly a cold and wet summer, to say the least. Actually, temperatures weren't too bad overall, but if you look at the CET, it doesn't look like it was a particularly cold summer. But what I always say about censoring temperature in summer is that it doesn't necessarily give you a clear idea of what it was like, because if the CET holds up okay at night, because it's cloudy and rainy, so if the temperature holds up okay at night, but daytimes are only 16 degrees and it's overcast and pouring with rain, then the overall impression of the summer is that it's a really bad summer. It may be sort of 13 degrees in the middle of the night, but if it's only 17 degrees in the day and it's pouring with rain and it's overcast most days, then you're having a bad summer. So in terms of censoring temperature, that doesn't always tell you everything you need to know about a summer, really, and I think precipitation is actually a little bit more important than temperature in some ways, to tell you kind of like what summer you've had. Got 46 people with us this afternoon, so thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget to give us a like on the video and let us know that you are enjoying it. Lisa Cartney's with us saying, "We had some great thunderstorms here on the Isle of Wight last spring, summer." So at least somebody had some, decent thunderstorms then, Lisa. We didn't get any thunderstorms at all here, even when that tremendous heat wave that we had late July last year, when that broke. It didn't really break down into thunderstorms, actually. So, just goes to show you that my impression of what last summer was like, which was very bad summer for thunderstorms, isn't necessarily true for everybody. But it's been a very long time since we've had a really good thunderstorm here in Northants. Andy's saying goodbye, he's off to work, so bye-bye Andy, thank you for being with us with our live stream this afternoon. Sharon was telling me that maximum is 17 in Sedgley in Wolverhampton, so that's about what it would be here, I think, Sharon, probably about 18 degrees. With that, should we have a look at some observations and whatnot, and do a little bit of screen capturing? Maybe that's what we should do next. So I'm going to turn off the image and then enable display capture. There we go. We should be screen sharing. Now, the first thing I wanted to look at was this. I'm not sure whether this is going to fit the screen okay, but I'm just going to go down to 1991. This relates to questions Shiram asked on Wednesday's live stream. I don't know if you can see this or not, but Shiram asked me whether there's been a cold winter that was a positive AO-NAO winter. And this is the list of all monthly Arctic oscillations going back to 1950. And I suspected about 1991 would have been a cold winter with a positive AO, NAO, and this sort of confirms it a little bit, actually. So the Arctic oscillation number for December 1990 was plus 1.277, so that's a very positive Arctic oscillation number for December 1990. 1991 in January 1991, is plus 0.723, so not as positive with the AO in January 1991 as December 1990, but nevertheless still positive. Not until February 1991 that the Arctic oscillation went weakly negative, went to minus 0.876. So that one did have a slightly negative AO. But the other two, January 1991 and December 1990, they were positive AO months. So it is possible to get a cold winter with a positive AO. And at the same time, look at the North Atlantic oscillation for 1990 and for 1991 as well. So the NAO number for December 1990 is plus 0.22. January 1991 NAO number is plus 0.86. Both weekly positive. And very interesting, I hadn't realised this until I looked at it a couple of hours ago for this live stream. February 1991 was actually a very positive, or quite a positive, NAO month with a NAO number of plus 0.4, plus 1.04, sorry. So that proves, 1990-1991 proves that it is very possible to get a cold winter with a positive AO, NAO combination. And I was very surprised when I saw how positive the NAO was in February 1991, which of course is a very, very freezing cold month with a Scandinavian high and easterly winds from the Urals, at least the first half of the month anyway. So there we go, that proves it. And thank you for your questions, Sharon. I found that really interesting when I looked at the data. Intuitively, I did think that 1991 would probably have been a positive AO, NAO winter, but I was surprised at how positive the NAO was in February 1991. Thank you for your question, Sheeran. Right, moving on to the latest observations. This is how things are looking in terms of the observations from XC weather. Currently, we've got 18 degrees. This is from 8 minutes past 5. We've got 18 degrees flashing away there towards southern counties. So at Bournemouth Airport, yes, 18 degrees is flashing away. Let's have a look at one or two more stations. I suppose these have come down a little bit from where they would have been about an hour ago, though. I think we definitely passed sort of the peak of the temperature for today. So let's have a look at one or two more of the stations though. So we've got Cranfield at 16 degrees. We've got Church Lawford at 15. Oxford is at 15. Wellersbourne Airfield is at 16. So sort of in the Midlands, we're or in South Midlands anyway, we're into the mid-teens. Going further north though, we've got Wittering at 13 degrees. East Midlands at 14. Nottingham at 14. So somebody told us a minute ago that Nottingham's at 14 degrees. So the further north you go, it is getting cooler. Going further north still to northern England, Linton on Ouse is at 14, Lingming is at 14, Newcastle at just 12 degrees, and Bulmer at 9 degrees there on the east coast. I'm sure it feels quite chilly with those east winds. Inverbervie also at just 8 degrees. And Inverness at 16. So the highest temperatures are sort of southwest of the country, and also over into North Wales, of course, not too bad over there. Real at 16 degrees, and Liverpool at 17 degrees. So kind of northwest England, North Wales, and then down through the Midlands into particularly West Midlands into South Midlands, and then down towards southwest England. That's where the highest temperatures have been today. Always a bit cooler over towards that eastern side, and that's going to be the way things are for the next couple of days as well. But by the middle part of the week, we should start to lose those east winds, and then the warm temperatures should get a little bit more evenly distributed. The next thing I wanted to look at is the Beijing Climate Center. So I'm just going to check to make sure that you can all see this okay. So let's just go back to YouTube and make sure that this is fitting the screen. So actually it's not gone over on my view to this. So hopefully you're able to see this anyway. So this is how Beijing Climate Center was looking for October when we left off on yesterday's 6 month look at. We went 6 months out, we said this with Beijing Climate Center. We left off in October. Didn't go any further than that. And for October, anticyclonic, most of the months with Beijing Climate Center in the coming months, again, these are 500 millibar heights, most of the months are anticyclonic with the Beijing Climate Center. October, no different. The ridge this time is sort of out to the west-northwest and bringing in a little bit more of a northeast wind. I can see, but yes, you can see this. Okay, so that's fine. So, yes, high pressure in control for October, out to the west of us, bringing in the wind kind of from a northeasterly direction. And so a relatively dryish, but maybe quite coolish month indicated for October. Let's go further out. Shouldn't be going further out than this, but I wanted to include this in today's live stream. Because I think you want to see this, really. So this is how November looks with the Beijing Climate Center this month. So November, take the high pressure further away from us. We move it into the North Atlantic, starts to go towards the south of Greenland. There's a trough of low pressure then, those blue colours there, that set up over the UK. If we come over to this side of the chart, across central parts of Europe. So that starts to take us into a much colder pattern. For November, we have a mid-Atlantic ridge and low pressure over and to the east of the country. So that takes us into a colder and also into a wetter pattern for November. There would be wintry potential with that, particularly through central parts of Europe and Western Europe too. So a cold and unsettled November. December 2020 looks like that with 500 millibar height anomaly, and the ridge of high pressure then sort of topples in from the Atlantic, so we lose quite a lot of the cold potential for December. We go into an anticyclonic month, probably very dry, probably a lot of frost going on if skies are clear. But the coldest conditions where the trough is, and that's pushed out towards the eastern, southeastern side of Europe. So after a cold and unsettled November with wintry potential, December then reverts to probably quite a chilly-ish month because we're under high pressure and it's December, but not a particularly cold month. It's not in a position to be bringing in northerly or easterly winds, and it's not bringing in Arctic or Siberian air. So probably just generally standard chilly type weather for December and reasonably quiet. But look what happens as we get through to January with the Beijing Climate Center. In January, we get northern blocking coming back. The red colours begin to appear within the northern latitudes from Greenland over here. If we come over to this side of the chart, like Scandinavia and up to Siberia, so that is very extensive northern blocking. A trough of low pressure sets up over Spain and also across southern parts of Europe just there, where those blue colours are. And of course that would turn the wind into the east. So a cold and wintry January is forecast there from the Beijing Climate Center. After a cold and potentially quite wintry November, moderation for November, we go into, again, much more of a colder type pattern for January potentially. And then finally, finally we get to February. And we save the best for last if you want a cold winter, because look at that. That is very, very extensive northern blocking indeed, but we've got sitting within the northern latitudes for February. High pressure around Greenland, and again it extends to the north of Scandinavia. But look how deep the trough of low pressure is underneath the block from the Atlantic and going into central parts of Europe. That will force the wind into the east, to the northeast. That would be cold and potentially very wintry. That would be potentially a very wintry month in February 2021. Now do bear in mind this is ultra long range stuff, so we can't take take any of this seriously. When we do the 6 months look ahead, I say, but when we get to around month number 3, 4, we're talking about just for fun. This is even further out than that, and ordinarily I wouldn't be showing you this. I'm only showing you this because we're doing the lockdown live streams, and I thought in these grim times it would be nice to have a little bit of fun when we're doing these live streams. But really, I should be showing you this, and it almost certainly won't verify. But there we go. This month for April 2020, the Beijing Climate Center is very much set on a cold winter for the winter 2020-2021. It wants a bitterly cold winter and very wintry winter as well. Albeit December's not too bad. December is kind of a milder month after cold wintry November, but then the blocking really gets going for January and for February too. So I thought you'd find that interesting. As I say, I shouldn't really show you these charts. We're too far out, and ordinarily I wouldn't normally put this into a normal video. But as we're doing lockdown live streams, as these are such grim times, I thought why not include that in the live stream today for you. Right, we'll turn off the display capture, we'll put up the image, and we shall then go back to YouTube, and we'll see what you made of that. That's quite interesting, I think. So we've got 28 people with us right now for our live stream, so thank you so much everybody for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up on the video. We're going to be here for around another 20 minutes or so. That's popped back up to 39, so I'm not sure what's going on with the viewer figures, but anyway, that's popped back up to 39. So thank you everybody anyway for tuning in this afternoon. Hope you're having as good an afternoon as you possibly can. Right, let's move down through the chat and see what you've been saying while we've been doing that little bit of screen sharing. Been very busy in the chat again this afternoon, I notice. So, if I can find a couple more questions. We've got JRP Romeo saying, hi Gav, was the recent southern stratospheric warming SSW because of this very dry weather and high pressure dominating over the UK for the last 3 weeks? I'm not sure, JRP Rowan, because actually this high pressure started before that, really. I think we've been favouring high pressure probably since around the second week of March. I might be a little bit wrong on the timings with that, but we went through that tremendously wet spell, of course, over the winter, and then that sort of burned itself out as we got into the first half of March anyway. And so I think this is just a continuation, really, of the pattern that's set up like at the end of the deluge. We've gone from one extreme to another, really, and that is often what happens when you come to the end of a very prolonged and existing pattern, such as we have through the winter. We have that deluge pattern. And so that sort of ran out of steam, and we just swang completely the other way. And all of that happened before we had the southern stratospheric warming. So I don't think you can really pinpoint the southern stratospheric warming on this high pressure dominating. I mean, it might be placed somewhere in the background with the conditions we've got right now. But I think really we're just seeing a continuation of an established pattern that's set up at the end of the deluge, when we swang from low pressure to high pressure, and this is the way that the weather evens itself out. Remember, the weather is always looking for equilibrium, the weather is always looking for balance. I say this all the time, and so it can never find balance, it can never find equilibrium, but it is always looking for it. And so when you have a very protracted spell of weather doing one thing, in this case the deluge pattern that we had through the autumn and into the winter, it was inevitable that when that sort of burned itself out, the atmosphere would kind of swing into an opposite state. And I think that's really what's happened, irrespective of any southern stratospheric warming. If we get some northern blocking setting up, like end of April into May, possibly even into June, if we get northern blocking setting up, then that possibly does indicate an atmospheric or a tropospheric response to the stratospheric warming. But for this high pressure, I think really it is just a continuation of an existing pattern. So I see that we've had a super chat from Paul Cooper. So thank you so much, Paul Cooper, for giving us a super chat. That's really kind of you. I don't think there's a question with that. You just wanted to give us a super chat. So thank you so much, Paul, for your super chat. That's really great. Thank you so much for doing that. Henry is saying, notice a couple of Aprils recently have seen an interesting pattern where it's very cold in America but warm here. 2018 was the same. April 2011 was cool in the USA too, as was April 2007. That could be one of the ways that the atmosphere is balancing itself, Henry. So sometimes you will have the same pattern on both sides of the Atlantic. There is an idea that you can only get cold weather in the UK and in Northern Europe if it's mild in eastern parts of America. That's not the case, actually. You can get it cold on both sides of the Atlantic. And what we just saw from the Beijing Climate Center, by the way, they would deliver cold, that sort of level of blocking would deliver cold weather to both sides of the Atlantic. But anyway, what we can say is that sometimes weather sort of balances itself out between being warmer on one side of the Atlantic and colder on the other side of the Atlantic. And that's possibly one of the things that's going on right now, the way that the atmosphere is sort of balancing itself. Again, I keep saying the atmosphere always looks for equilibrium, it always looks for balance. So if something is happening in one area, the opposite is going to be happening in the other area a lot of the time. Classic example of the way that works out is across Europe. If it's doing one thing in the northwest of Europe, it will often be doing the opposite in the southeast of Europe. Although we did hear somebody from Romania earlier in the live stream telling me that it's really warm in Romania as well at the moment. But often the weather will balance itself out across Europe between doing one thing in the northwest and one thing in the southeast. Still got 39 people with us, so hello, thank you so much everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on video and let us know that you are enjoying the live stream. Thank you, and popped up to 40 people now, so thank you so much everybody for being with us this afternoon. Alan Petru is saying, hi Gav, today it's like spring 1976, but I remember the last week of April 1976 had sleet. Yes, I think there was a colder snap during the spring of 76. Of course, the spring of 75 also has some considerably cold weather as well. Both northerly winds, both springs, both Aprils had northerly winds and northerly outbreaks. I think 76 was far less pronounced northerly compared to 1975. Of course, 1975 also had the snow in early June as well. That was a very unusual event on the 2nd of June 1975. But once that went, of course, the rest of the summer of 1975 was really hot. But yeah, it's interesting that both of those hot summers, 75 and 76, did have some cold weather through the springs preceding. They did have some northerly outbreaks. I've always found that quite interesting. So moving down through the chat, we can have a look at one or two more of your comments, and it looks like you've enjoyed that little look at the Beijing Climate Center. So Savvy is saying January looks interesting, even though it's just for fun. Yes, indeed. Philip is saying I'm liking the Beijing Climate Center for winter, if only, and using one of our snow emojis. Lisa is saying winter looks amazing. We've got TA saying January and February look like 1963. Please don't get too excited about those charts, everybody. It's a very, 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 very long way out, and there will be several changes going on between now and when we get to the winter. I'm going to get myself into trouble, I think, for showing those, really. But I wanted to include them and have a bit of fun. So we've got TA saying winter 2020-21 is our best chance in years for a proper cold winter due to ECQPO, post-solar minimum winter and possible La Nina. Excuse me. Well, you will think so, TA. There are a few things already that we can say are sort of stacking up on the positive side for a colder winter of 2020-21. But remember, it only takes one thing to scupper it for us. So we've got a lot to get through before we can start thinking about a cold winter for 2020-21. But potentially, yes, it is an easterly QBO. It should almost certainly be an easterly QBO. Quite a strong one as well. It should, I think, also be like the first winter of solar cycle 25, although it's not totally guaranteed that we won't still be sort of dying end of solar cycle 24. But I think it should be the first winter of solar cycle 25. And then from an ENSO perspective, remember, we don't want ENSO to go too strong. So if we went to La Nina, but it was a strong La Nina, that would be bad news for the winter. So thinking about winters like sort of 1975, 1976, and also 1988, 89, they were strong. They were strong La Nina winters, and they were very mild winters as well. So for ENSO, the trick with ENSO is always to try and have it quite weak, whether it's an El Nino or a La Nina state, and there is some debate about which is the best of the two. For me, I always think a weak La Nina is better for a cold winter than a weak El Nino, but other people would say a weak or moderate El Nino is slightly better for a cold winter. But what I always look for is a weak La Nina. But we don't want, whether it's El Nino or La Nina, we don't want either to become really strong if we want a cold winter, because both states, a strong El Nino and a strong La Nina, will tend to blow up the jet stream quite a bit and drive in the westerlies. So we're looking for a weak La Nina state, not a strong La Nina state. The fact that we're struggling to go into a La Nina, I mean, although we're talking about possibility of a La Nina setting up for the summer, it looks like it's going to be quite a slow transition into it, and that would tend to imply, actually, that if we do go into La Nina, it's likely to be a relatively weak affair, I would have thought, maybe just about getting to moderate if the CFS forecast comes off. But we're not seeing a very rapid descent into La Nina, such as we had at this point in 2007. For example. So, yes, you would think, TA, that this coming winter is the best chance for years for a cold winter. But remember, it only takes one thing. It only takes one thing to go wrong, and the whole thing can fall apart for us. And that's due, more than anything else, to our position in the world right next to the warm Atlantic Ocean. Got 41p with us right now, so thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in this afternoon. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on the video and let us know that you are enjoying it. We're going to be here for a few more minutes. I'm going to wrap things up at 6 o'clock, but we're going to be here just for a few minutes more. Paul Miller is saying it has to be better than last winter. Well, certainly you would hope so, Paul. You would hope we don't get a repeat in 2020-21 of 2019-2020. Let's hope we don't. Certainly you would think we're unlikely to get anything as wet. You would think we're unlikely to get anything as wet as last winter. It would be very unusual to get two so exceptionally wet winters back to back. Nothing is impossible, though, with the weather. I always say this, that the weather is always looking to try and catch us out, find new ways to shock us and surprise us. So I say it's very unlikely that we will get a winter as wet as last winter straight after it. But as I say, the weather always looks to try and catch us out. So you just never know. A few more of you saying about those charts of the Beijing Climate Center. I thought you'd enjoy having a look at those, but I shouldn't really have shown them. I will get myself into a little bit of trouble. But yeah, I thought you'd enjoy having a look at those. So we've got Paul Miller saying that BCC made me feel better. Love cold and snow. Duncan Wood is saying lovely winter charts. So I thought you'd enjoy having a look at those, everybody. Philip is saying I might be able to dig the kids' sledges out of the shed. They've been cocooned for the past 2 years. So, yeah, well, if that winter came off as the Beijing Climate Center shown, you would have no problems at all getting your sledge out. That's for sure. But remember, there's going to be a lot of chopping and changing before we get to that. So we're coming towards the end of the chat now. So I'm going to be able to get everybody's questions in, I think, today, actually. So Matthew Hackett is saying, bring on the snow. Yes, indeed, Matthew. And we've got let's see, I've got another one. We've got Katrine saying that would be fantastic if it paid off in November with cold temperatures. It's wonderful to see a seasonable winter for a change. Yes, well, definitely you would be able to say that it's a seasonable winter if we got that sort of high pressure blocking, definitely. Matthew is saying, we won't hold you to it, but it's something nice to look forward to. Yes, definitely. So, just remember, we'll probably have a look at these next month. And they're likely to look quite different next month, I would have thought. Also, we've been looking at Patal Peng's analogues, of course, in the GavsWeatherVids Sunday Roundup. And Patal Peng's analogues are also pointing towards a little bit of blocking this coming winter. So Beijing isn't totally alone on that idea, but it's just so far out, really, that it's just to have a laugh at it and to include it in the live stream while we're in lockdown, and to have a bit of fun and a bit of a laugh at it. But it definitely shouldn't be taken too seriously. Alan Jones is with us, saying, hi, Gavin. I don't have a question, but just thought I'd say I really enjoyed the live stream. Well, thank you so much, Alan, for being with us this afternoon. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and let us know that you've enjoyed it. Let YouTube as well know that you have enjoyed the live stream as well. But thank you so much, and I'm pleased we've been able to entertain you for a few minutes. That's the reason we're doing these live streams. Really. It's just really that everybody is in lockdown. It's grim times. Got this awful virus doing the rounds, and I wanted to do something that would allow the GavsWeatherVids community to sort of come together and allow everybody to get together and have a bit of fun and take everybody's minds off what's going on in the world at the moment. Because I think it's important that even though we're at such grim times, that everybody is still entertained, has an outlet to be informed and hopefully entertained. So that is the primary reason for doing the live streams at the moment. So the fact that you enjoyed the live stream and you found it entertaining, that's really, really great. Thank you so much, Alan. Sharky Train is saying, loving these live streams. Well, thank you so much, Sharky. That's really, really kind. Thank you so much. Don't forget to drop a like on the video as well. So we're going to be wrapping things up in a couple more minutes. We're going to get to the very end of the chat today, if I can do that. So CRT Gaming is asking, can you get snow in the summer? Well, it happened in 1975, CRT Gaming. It's very rare, except over mountainous areas, of course. If you're up on the top of Abbeymoor, then even well into June, you can still get snow. But for snow across lowland southern England, it is very rare to get snow in the summer, but it's not unheard of. It can happen. It has happened. It happened in June 1975. I think it may have happened across Scotland and Northern England after that in other Junes. It can't really happen in July and August. I don't think you'll be able to get snow in July or August, except again maybe over the top of the Scottish mountains in a potent sort of polar Arctic outbreak. But July and August, no. Can happen in June, and we can say that definitively because it has happened in June. It happened on the 2nd of June 1975, which a lot of people still remember. Alpha SB is with us, saying I'm late. Yes, you are late, Alpha, because we're going to wrap this up in a couple of minutes. But thank you for being with us anyway. And maybe you can listen on catch-up, so it won't be a problem to listen to it back and see what I've been talking about. We did show some very interesting charts from the Beijing Climate Center, and I'll let you discover what those charts were showing if you want to listen back on catch-up. So apparently I'm seeing, mate, it's also CRT Gaming's birthday. So happy birthday, CRT Gaming. Thank you for sharing your birthday with us this afternoon. I hope you've had as good a birthday as possible. We've also got Mtron Wenger saying, I'm late. Yes, you are, Mtron. We're going to be wrapping this up in about 2 minutes. But again, you'll be able to listen on live stream, and it's not a problem. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. Shiram is saying, thanks, going for a great live stream. Thank you for being with us, Shiram. And also, Philip is saying, thanks for stream, Gav, and happy birthday to CRT Gaming. So, again, thank you, Philip, for being with us this afternoon. And we've also got Savvy saying that's been a great stream, so thank you for moderating the chat today, Savvy. Paul Miller is saying, really enjoy this, Gav. You brighten up these gloomy days. And goodbye, everyone. Well, thank you so much. Paul, for that. And also, we've got Weather's Cool saying, see you on Wednesday. Yes, next live stream will be on Wednesday, and Wednesday between 4 and 5 o'clock. Sharky is asking, RB streams weekly, bet every Wednesday and every Sunday, Sharky. So every Wednesday between 4 and 5, every Sunday between 5 and 6, you will find us live streaming on the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel, at least while we're in lockdown. I can't say what will happen when we start seeing easing of the restrictions, but certainly for the time being, while we're all facing the coronavirus crisis, we will be streaming every Wednesday between 4 and 5, and every Sunday between 5 and 6 o'clock. Right, that's it. Thanks for a great stream, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we entertained you for a little while. I'm going to wrap up the live stream there. So, of course, got plenty of videos coming up between now and Wednesday. The summer analogues update will be placed on the summer updates page at GavsWeatherVids.com. In a couple of hours, there'll be a written summary that goes with that. So you'll be able to have a read of that and watch a video on demand at GavsWeatherVids.com this evening. And then tomorrow and Tuesday, we'll have our regular sort of Monday and Tuesday videos. You know what those will be if you follow the channel. And then the next live stream, as I said, going to be between 4 and 5 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. Stay safe and stay well, everybody, and we will see you on Wednesday, hopefully. But for this live stream, that's all for now, and thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Bye for now.